Have you ever sat down to have a reading done with your heart open and you're really excited to hear from someone who's crossed over from a medium, and you're almost met with silence or something that just doesn't feel like anything at all? Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break from our sponsor, Otter Spirit. Bracelet that I'm wearing right here, the Moonstone, which also activates your intuition, and this brings in grace and clarity. But turquoise is not only wisdom and healing, it's also a stone of intuition and has been used by Native Americans for centuries, and it's just a beautiful stone. So what I like about these two stones, and I think is wonderful for people to use, is it's a protective stone, it's an intuitive stone, it's a healing stone, it's a wise stone, and it can also help activate your intuition. But both of these do it in a soft, gentle way. I recommend from Otter Spirit. So thank you, Otter Spirit, and thank you for listening from our sponsors. I can explain why from a medium's perspective and from a recent experience I had a few weeks ago. And it's actually kind of interesting what happens, and I can tell you how you can actually connect with your own loved ones if you're interested. So I was actually speaking to someone in passing, and she had a client who was actually having her hair colored and processed. And while we were talking, this woman was looking at me with such desperation, such desire to want to hear from a loved one. And I knew it was her father. I just knew it was her father. And as she was talking, and we were all just having this conversation because they were curious about just my life and being a medium and how I've always seen orbs and talked to spirits since birth. I saw this huge sign above her, this big neon sign. And I didn't tell her this. I saw this huge neon sign that said, "I'm out playing golf." It said, no, actually it said, "I'm out golfing." Literally said, "I'm out golfing." Neon. I don't know why I record videos and I don't intend to with color. It was like a big neon sign that said, "I'm out golfing." She goes on to talk about how her father was an avid golfer. And because I was so wishing I could give her something, because I could see just her wanting to hear something from her father. But all I could see in these neon lights was, "I'm out golfing." So I knew he wasn't available. He wasn't available. He was like, I'm out golfing. He had a sign literally hanging up, "I'm out golfing," which means not available. And this has happened before for somebody else when they were out fishing. So if you're out fishing, you're out fishing. And that was always a family joke. They were out fishing. So I didn't tell her though, because she wasn't asking for a reading. So it wasn't my place to tell her I see a neon sign that says "I'm out golfing." But she had talked about her dad was a big golfer. So I asked her, and this is how, these are two different ways you yourself can connect with a loved one who's crossed over. So this is what I had asked her, and this is what I would tell anyone who may want to try to connect with someone on the other side. I asked her, had she ever dreamed of her father previously, and if she had, did she wake up right after that dream? She said, "Yes, I have had many dreams about my dad and I wake up right afterwards." I said, "Okay, that means you've already connected with your dad and he comes to you in your dreams. So when you wake up right afterwards, that means they did come to you in your sleep and they had a message or whatever they said. So when you wake up afterwards, those are real dreams and they come to you in your sleep." So I always tell people sometimes write them down, but usually people always remember those dreams. They're dreams you can't forget. They don't want you to. But I still always recommend people should write them down just in case they're afraid they will forget something. And The other thing I've suggested too was, because I saw that he was out golfing, and I felt like he was going to be, I could see the golf course too. He was out having a great time on this golf course I couldn't even describe. It was like this amazing golf course with sand dunes and these incredible, I told her, I said, I think he's on a golf course right now, to be honest with you. And she's like, oh, that would be him. He would be out golfing. And I said, these golf courses are unbelievable. I mean, talk about the sand dunes and the lakes and the waters and the ponds and the grass. He's like, this golf course is like something you can't even imagine. It's the best course he's ever played. And she was really enjoying that part, because he was showing me the golf course and the golf cart, and he was out there with people and laughing and just having, like, I mean, come on, it's heaven, it's the afterlife, it's the best time ever. But he still was very aware of his daughter. I said, the other thing you can always ask for too is a phone call, because sometimes it's harder for spirit to come to you in a dream, because it's a bigger connection. I said, so you can always ask for him to call you in a dream and have a phone conversation, and it's just the same as connecting with you. So if they're out fishing, or they're out golfing, or they're out playing tennis, or they like to play, I'm hearing bocce ball. This could be really relevant for somebody where that's something that they like, or cricket or soccer. There's always breaks, so they can always call you and connect with you, and it's easier to make a phone call and talk to you on the phone in your dream than it is to actually appear in a dream. And calling and talking to you in a dream is easier than being physically present in your dream. And you can always ask them to do that. But when you ask, you have to know you ask them to come and trust that they will come. And also you have to understand that you have no expectation of when they will come. You just know that they will come when the time is right. Because it can't be in the midst of the depths of your grief, because it's too hard. They know you'll try to hold on to them, and that's too hard for them to come. So it has to be a time when you're in a more healthy, healed place of the grief. But that's why phone calls are also easier. Sometimes they can call you, and that's easier because they can also hang up than physically appearing. But those are two ways you can also connect and have a conversation, and they can relay whatever they want to relay to you. And that's why you don't always need a medium. And that's also sometimes why you may want to talk to someone and they may not appear, but a medium may see something that says, like, out of kind of unavailable, out golfing, out fishing, out playing bocce, playing bridge, unavailable. They're busy. It's not that they don't love you. They're just doing something else right now at that moment. And some of our loved ones, my favorite one is they love to play matchmaking for people who are single, so they love to play matchmaker too. So sometimes they're out doing things for you down here, so they're not available, but they will become available. It's just at that very precise moment they weren't. It doesn't mean they won't be available at another time. So it just depends. But you can always ask yourself, you have the ability to connect with them. They are your loved ones. So I always say a phone call is the easiest, and then the second is, can you come in a dream? But it can't ever be when you're in the midst of that depth of grief. I know, because I've lost many loved ones and have been in the depths of that grief, and I can't connect with my loved ones that way. It has to be when I'm in a more healed place. I can easily connect with them. But the moment someone I've lost, they don't just show up the next day and say, hey, because they know I'm in grief. I can't do that either. So it's part of being human. But those are ways for you to be able to connect with people that you love. So I hope that helps you understand why sometimes people might have like a funny way of relaying something to you when you're connecting with people who are honest and authentic, and you also have the ability to connect with your loved ones. A lot of you may have actually felt them in dreams, or feel like you've seen them in dreams, or feel you've heard their voices, because you have. So you can just do it again. Just ask, and then you have to let go of when are you coming? When are you coming? Because if you do that, you're holding on too tight. It's asking and then just letting it go and just trusting they'll show up when the right time is for them to show up to talk to you. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.